Hey everybody, Brian here with Mazévo. Today we're going to be talking about taking requests for meeting rooms and space online. Now, if you're like a lot of organizations, you've probably already been doing this for a while, especially if you schedule a lot of meeting rooms, events, and activities at your organization. But many organizations actually struggle with this because while they may have an online request form of some kind, a lot of times they struggle with getting people to use it. And so rather than people using the request form, they're making calls into the office or they're sending emails when they need to schedule a meeting or activity. And usually this comes down to the request form being too complex or too difficult for the casual user. Well, here at Mazévo, we actually created a very simple to use request process, and I want to take you through that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull up the request form on my iPhone right here. So we have an app that you can use to request space from. Now, keep in mind, you can do this from the desktop just as easily. So if people prefer to do it from their computer, Mac, PC, doesn't matter. I'm going to be doing this from my iPhone. It also works just as well from an Android. So here, let me pull it up for you. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the Mazévo app on my phone, and I'm going to actually put in new requests. So I have a button down here at the bottom that says new request. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to make a very simple kind of request. Say it's for a meeting or something like that. So I'm going to say this is for Brian's meeting. And I'm going to classify it as a meeting. I'm with the business office here. That's why it says business office at the bottom. I'm going to say there's 5 people in this meeting. And I choose my date. So I'm going to say it's actually for March 5th. Actually, we'll say it's for next week on the 10th. And it's for 2:30 for an hour. And I'm going to be in the Jacobs building. So I've got a list of buildings to choose from here. I just choose one where we're going to be meeting. Jacobs building. I'm given a list of rooms that are available. So I'm going to choose the first one here, room 102, and hit next. And that's now I'm at a point where I can just choose if I need any equipment, audio-visual furniture. I'm going to skip that for now. We're going to keep it, again, very simple. So I just hit skip right here. And I'm done. And what we're seeing here is my request. And notice it's in a pending status. So in this case, somebody's going to need to go in and actually approve the request that way. So what I'd like to do now is actually show you a more complex request, because you may be saying, well, hold on here, what if people do need that AV equipment, or we like to ask some other questions on our request form, things like that. Great. That would be more of a complex request. So let's go back in and actually do another request that has a few more details to it. So I just go through the same process as before. So and I'm actually going to do this one as a multi-day activity here. And we'll say this one's for 10 people here this time. Now this time, because it's a multi-day meeting, I'm going to say this actually starts on March 16th. And it's going to start at 1 o'clock. Go for an hour. But we're going to do this every week. It's going to go every Wednesday until April 15th. So I just choose every Wednesday. So I just select my dates and times, pretty straightforward here. And this time I'm actually going to select the student center for my facility. And I'm given a list of rooms to choose from. Now, these list of rooms, it's showing me these because they're actually available on all those Wednesdays that I chose. The problem is I was looking for conference room 3, and I'm not seeing it on this list anywhere. It's not showing up. Now, we've got a little link up here. It says not seeing a room. So I can tap on that, and I'll get some further details on why that room is not showing up in the list. So in this case, it may be because it wasn't available for all of the dates that I was looking for here. So that's going to help cut down on some calls into your office so people can kind of understand for themselves why the room isn't available that way. Also, before I select a room, I can actually just tap on the room and get some further information about it, read some notes, see an image of the room. So a lot of information right there at my fingertips. So let's just say it's okay. I'm going to make do with conference room 1 for my activity. Now notice what happened here. I just selected conference room 1 and it's giving me an option of how I want the room set up. So this room can actually be configured in 2 ways. And there's some additional information here. So hollow square, maybe I'm not really familiar with that type of arrangement. I can actually just tap on it and I can read a description of when this setup style is best and things like that. So you can include some additional information. Again, this is to help people that may not be really familiar with planning events. So I'm just going to choose that hollow square. Looks good. You can see it put the little icon down there for me. I hit next. Now this time I am going to say I want some AV and what the heck, we'll say some furniture as well. So now when I select those items, it's actually going to give me some resources that I can pick from here. So if I need the data projector, put that in. Please set this up for me, period. So we've got the notes in there. I can select that I need a podium as well, and that looks good. So I just hit next right here. So pretty easy to select the items that way. And this is a resource planning meeting. And if I'm having catering, I can put that in here, but we're actually going to say we don't have any catering, so I'm going to choose none. But notice this time there are actually 2 questions that I'm being asked, and we didn't see that before. The reason for these questions is because I chose some different items based on the room that I selected or the equipment that I needed. Now the system knows to prompt me for these questions, and that's why we didn't see it last time. So the process is very fluid depending on what people need to request. And I just, at this point, I'm ready to go, so I just hit submit, and it goes ahead and saves my request. And notice now I have 2 pending requests in here. And the reason these are showing up is I can always come back later if I need to update or modify my request somehow. So anyways, hope you enjoyed that. I hope you see how simple it is to make a request. And again, people can do this from their phone, from their laptop, wherever they're at, doesn't matter. Anyways, let us know if you have any questions. We'd love to show it to you sometime. Thanks a lot.